Welcome to That's Good Broncos. I am Brandon Perna, and this is Free Agency Getting Fucked Fest, which is much more different than Free Agency Fuck Fest we've experienced the last 4 years. I'm hoping that in a few days I get to post a new video appropriately titled Free Agency Fuck Fest 3.0 after the Broncos land some solid additions to the team. But until then, let's talk about what it feels like to be punched in the nuts by a GM that just won a Super Bowl. So why are we so angry right now? Also, I apologize for the delay on this video. I have been working all week, and then I got sick with something. Yeah, but what they say is true. Spend one night with the Kardashian, plan on spending 2 days with the doctor. It's the last time I hang out with Rob. I'd like to start this episode by saying goodbye to Danny Trevathan, Malik Jackson, Brock Osweiler, Owen Daniels, Luis Vasquez, and for whatever reason, long snapper Aaron Brewer. It's shitty because Danny, Malik, and Brock were drafted by the Broncos, and I would have liked to see at least one of them continue on in orange and fucking blue. Well, I guess Trevathan kept it pretty close by signing a 4-year, $24.5 million deal with $12 million in guaranteed to play in the orange and blue as a Bear under former Broncos head coach John Fox. So he's almost still a Bronco. I will say that I think it's smart that John Elway did not want to overpay to keep Brock Osweiler and Malik Jackson. The market, which is every NFL analyst's new favorite word. The market demands, it demands these guys get a ton of money. And in my opinion, keeping Osweiler or Malik was not worth their market price tag. I also think it's clear that Brock didn't really want to be here anymore, and I understand that. And I can understand the 90 million and one reasons why Malik went to Jacksonville. The one is the city name, Malik, Jacksonville Jaguars. That'd be like if a team located in the Perna offered me a boatload of money. I'd have to go. Malik made a good point in his press conference when he basically said if the Broncos made offers to Brock, Danny, and him during the season, they could have kept all three guys for less than nothing. Well, less than nothing is the hyperbolic, exaggerated overstatement of the year. I doubt all three of those guys would have actually paid the Broncos to be on the team. Playing for less than nothing is what I do, Malik. This is where real passion lies. The point I agree with is that the Broncos as an organization haven't done an amazing job at making an effort to re-sign some key players before free agency opens. And I do believe if they reached out to Jackson right after they signed Derek Wolfe, they could have locked him up in the $10 million per year range. Maybe. The other thing that bothers me is that they actually did offer Danny Trevathan nothing. He received the Julius Thomas and Eric Decker treatment, which sucks. Trevathan deserved an offer. He deserved a chance to be a Bronco. And in my opinion, he was a more important piece to the defense than he gets credit for. I've seen a lot of you soulless animals in the comments saying he can easily be replaced and that the Broncos don't need him just like they didn't need Wesley Woodyard or Nate Irving anymore. Woodyard was expendable because of Trevathan. And if you remember, in his first season starting with the Broncos, they went to the Super Bowl. That's right, Danny's the common Super Bowl denominator, or as I call it, the common dominator. Danny did not play much during his rookie season in 2012, and the Broncos did not reach the Super Bowl. Danny was hurt with a fractured kneecap or caps in 2014. No Super Bowl. 2013, 2015 were Super Bowl seasons, and Trevathan played all year long. Coincidence? Probably. All I'm saying is he was a high character guy who made a lot of plays, and as a loyal fan, I would have liked to see him stay in Denver. I want to see those guys stay in Denver, even if they too can be replaced because the D-line in front of them is amazing and the secondary behind them is one of the best in the NFL. The good news is the Broncos and DeMarcus Ware agreed on a restructure for his contract to free up cap room. His new contract is set up with incentives based on his sack performance. Finally, Ware and I have something in common. I receive incentives from my fiance, like more TV time or second dessert, if I have a good performance in the sack. Ware's return is the first real good news we can enjoy since free agency started, and his value on that defense is worth more than he'll get paid. The Broncos did sign former Kansas City Chiefs offensive swing tackle Donald Stevenson, which is step one in improving the O-line. An improved O-line will make a significant difference next season in the balance of this team. Losing Brock Osweiler did come as a surprise to me, but honestly, I'm okay with it. Ask me that question again in 3 years and we'll see if I say the same thing. I think Brock will play well in Houston with another good defense, but I have no fucking clue what the Broncos are going to do at the quarterback position. We know they traded for Mark Sanchez for a conditional draft pick. I received this email from Steven Jacob, a man who watches this show, and he said this: Mark Sanchez is now a Bronco. I'm sorry for your loss. Trust me, as a Jets fan, I know the pain. That's the big dick message of the week, and I appreciate the email, Steven. If you guys want to talk to me about football, follow me on Twitter at Brandon Perna. I'm actually happy to have Sanchez on the roster because now the Broncos have a quarterback who's played in some NFL games. Trevor Siemian has potential, but I need to see a lot more from him during next preseason, and I hope we get to see him play more. If I were a fan of another NFL team and I were looking at the Broncos, I'd see Sanchez as a non-threat at the quarterback position. However, I have a soft spot in my heart for Mark Sanchez because on November 23rd, 2012, I reviewed the butt fumble video before I started reviewing Broncos videos on this channel. And it was one of the very first videos I made that got over 200 views. To me, having Sanchez on the roster is now a good sign, even if his only purpose is to serve as Chip Kelly trade bait to acquire Colin Kaepernick. Now, that's fucking crazy. Right now, we're all salivating at the idea of acquiring Kaepernick, or signing RG3, or signing Ryan Fitzpatrick. We're begging for any one of those guys. Think about it. Those are the 3 best QB options at the moment. If you're one of those people excited for them to draft a quarterback this year, I'd exercise caution because from what I can tell, this QB draft class is what Mel Kiper would refer to as a toilet bowl full of McShay. RG3 appears to be going to the Jets, so I think it's going to either be Cap or Fitzmagic. I think physically, Kaepernick would be the best fit in this offense, but the fact that he willingly would want to play for Cleveland means mentally he's about as sharp as Richie Incognito's balls. If he does come to Denver, I will retract that statement immediately. My hope is that they sign Ryan Fitzpatrick, but the problem with him now is that he wants too much fucking money because of the market. Ryan, bearded men don't need all that extra money. We make up for financial compensation by being complimented by other men and only men on how much they like our beards. I think Fitz would be a solid leader on the offense, and he's surprisingly mobile. He rushed for 270 yards last season and would be great on bootlegs. His biggest criticism is that he's never been in the playoffs. So, I've never fucked a Playboy bunny, but if given the chance, I know I could disappoint her sexually, just like all the other women in my life. Yep. The upside to Mark Sanchez is that he has played well in the playoffs behind a good defense. He's 4-2 in the playoffs, completed 60.5% of his passes, and has thrown 9 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. Believe it or not, the Broncos can win with Mark at QB. John Elway has until Tuesday to match the Dolphins' offer for C.J. Anderson, which is a 4-year deal worth $18 million with $10 million guaranteed. I believe the deal is front-loaded, so the Broncos would have to pay CJ $4.5 million per year or something like that during the first 2 seasons to keep him. I'll do another video about CJ after we know where he's going to play in 2016. All I can say is they better keep him. They better keep CJ Anderson. Bash Manderson goes nowhere. He better not. That's it for the free agency getting fuckfest. It's been a rocky start, and I hope I don't sound too critical. Because like the rest of you, I'm not a player personnel expert, nor do I understand the salary cap, And I'm assuming, like me, none of you really look to the future in terms of salary cap, space, and player contracts. That's what's tough about this shit. You have to look to 2017, 2018, 2019 to know what you can do in 2016. That's why Julius Thomas is gone. Can you imagine how little wiggle room the Broncos would have if he were still here? The NFL is designed to make it tough for teams to stay on top, and that's what keeps it competitive year after year, but it sucks when you're on fucking top. As a fan, you build relationships with the players. Not real ones, but relationships nonetheless. So when the guys you enjoy watching play leave, it feels like betrayal, either by them or by the organization. After winning a Super Bowl, I think it feels even more important to keep the guys who got you there. But it can't happen in the NFL. It's unfortunate, but whatever. We have to deal with it. I will say I believe the Broncos will be making some significant moves very soon. And I really want to talk about that. So hopefully they sign CJ, Bruton, Alfred Morris, and with Daniels gone, a tight end could be on the radar. Maybe Zach Miller from Chicago. The return of Evan Mathis would be nice. Who knows? They'll probably sign none of those guys. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Broncos. Make sure you subscribe here to my channel, That's Good Sports. Give me a follow on Twitter, @BrandonPerna. Let's get ready for the free agent fuckfest video that's going to be super positive and full of hope and enthusiasm for the next season, because this defense is still intact for the most part and should be insane. Hello?